This week on Tap Into TV, we bring you a very important and timely piece on the coronavirus outbreak. Our team visited the Hackensack Meridian Health Center for Discovery and Innovation in Nutley, New Jersey, where they're currently developing a rapid response test for the coronavirus. U.S. Senator Bob Menendez was on site to tour the CDI labs, and he called for a stronger federal response to the growing crisis. Tap Into TV spoke with CDI Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. David Perlin, who assured us that his team was doing their part to get New Jersey and the country prepared for the weeks to come.
Today, we had a description of the new coronavirus, the COVID-19, why it's a potential health threat, how do we prepare, and the take-home message here is that preparedness for our healthcare system, for America, is really what this is about.
Many Americans throughout New Jersey and the nation are justifiably concerned. But it's important to remember that the vast majority of the coronavirus cases are considerably mild. If there's anything we know, it's that now is not the time to panic, but rather to prepare.
We want to allay fears. We want to demystify what this virus is about, who's at risk, what the potential is for serious disease. It all comes down to how prepared are we to address this virus, and that's what today's program was about.
When you have a situation where you don't have a vaccine, the best thing you can do is diagnose early and effectively, triage your patients, and understand what you're dealing with.
Senator Menendez has been a leader for healthcare in America. He's a strong advocate, not only for the citizens of New Jersey, but for all Americans. And he understands preparedness, and he understands that we need the tools to be prepared. And so what we talked to him about today was to help us validate some of the tools that we've developed in terms of new diagnostic tests. So his role as a senator and a leadership capacity is really critical for us.
Now, no one person can prevent a public health epidemic. That's why we need coordinated government response strategies to protect our public health and keep the American people safe. If a vaccine breakthrough is achieved, we have to make sure that every American in need is able to access it and afford it. Otherwise, it is a false promise. The United States is capable of answering any challenge so long as we have the necessary resources, a strategy to succeed, a respect for science, and a commitment to the truth.
As a scientist, I have an obligation to be able to transmit my knowledge about science to the public, to be transparent, to try to deliver some solutions, to help people feel both hope and to be able to communicate what science can really do for people. We're trying to understand what is the clinical problem and what is it that we know and understand about our science, what insights do we have, what tools do we have that we can use to address these unmet medical needs. And that's why I came here. I came here to be able to do this.
What we have to do is be prepared. That's why, I appreciate the efforts here to have a test that can help us be prepared to understand the scope. That's what I'm doing in the Senate, is to create the resources and to condition the resources so that they're not spent frivolously. Now, we just have to put our hands together and try to make this happen in support of the American people and in our safety and security. And that's what we will do.
To learn more about Tap Into TV, visit tapintotv.net.
My name is Stephanie Willoughby, and I'm a family photographer here in the great state of New Jersey. Jersey is full of small towns with big personalities, which is why I want to explore what makes your community special. I'm interested in the stories that your community would tell if it had a voice. This is HomeGrown. Today we're visiting my favorite shore point, Asbury Park, New Jersey. If you haven't been here, you must come here. Asbury is famous for their boardwalk, their nightlife, and their proud LGBTQ community. As the saying goes, everything is better in Asbury. Our first stop is CURE Wellness Studios. Offering massages, yoga, and more, CURE is helping the visitors and residents of Asbury Park find their footing.
My name's Troy T-Boom, and this is CURE. I kind of started my professional career in Washington, D.C., and I really loved that city, but when I moved up to New York, it didn't really work for me. So working in Manhattan versus a smaller city, a little too big, and then found this town. Beach town, a place to get away from New York, and this was the town for me. But there's not a lot of jobs here, so you gotta get more creative if you're gonna make a life here.
I've seen the before pictures now of this place, so seeing where it was to what you've brought it to is kind of incredible. How do you feel about the growth that's been going on around your studio space?
So we were a little bit of a pioneer on the street. There was one other yoga studio that opened just before us, just down the block, and then we bought this building and converted it, like you said, from kind of a messy old print shop that produced business cards and letterhead for 100 years, and there was ink all over the walls, and the place looked like it was falling apart, but it really wasn't. It had great bones, and we were able to turn it into something beautiful. And then we had followers right behind us. We had a chiropractor move in, and an acupuncturist, and a barber shop, and a pasta place across the street. So this street, which is an offshoot of our main street, has become popular. We've almost called it Wellness Way.
Maybe you could get it to be renamed Wellness Street. I would
I've
go
actually
for that.
talked to the mayor about it.
Yeah.
I think there's some work for us to make that happen, but I'm gonna work on it.
So who are your typical clients here?
So we actually have a lot of locals. There are a lot of people who live here year-round like me, and we offer club kind of packages like memberships so that people might commit to a yoga practice here or maybe do a 1-month massage club here.
Actually, I kind of love that there are monthly subscriptions for things like massage, because I think people think of that in like a commercial sense, but not necessarily at a cool studio, you know, in their neighborhood.
It's like a commitment to wellness.
I love that. What is it like to live in Asbury Park?
Well, I mean, it's kind of all about community. So it's small town feel. You get to know everybody, lots of interest from everybody around you. The music scene, there's so much going on that even though it kind of quiets down in the wintertime, it's never dead. Like there's always something going on here.
Are there some words that come to mind when you think of Asbury and having made it your home now for a while?
For me, I think beach, music, food, and wellness.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having us
Thank
today.
you too.
CURE is a sweet little retreat when you're on your retreat.
To watch more Tap Into TV, follow us on social media at TAPintoTV.
During its creation, Asbury Park was intended to be an entertainment hub, which is why I'm delighted to see the showroom theaters. Today, we're speaking with visionaries and owners about how their independent theater is changing the way Asbury sees films. So I want to talk a little bit about showroom. How long have you guys been open here in Asbury Park?
We've been open in this location since 2012. We started out in a little storefront across the street because when we came here, there were no movie theaters. We couldn't understand how a town that was so arts and culture centric had no cinema.
I think that that's so neat. One of the things that I've kind of been researching about Asbury is just how it was an entertainment capital, how when it was built, it was meant to entertain the masses with music and casinos and bringing people out of the city here. And to an extent, it still does that, but only with people like yourselves who think like, hey, there's not a theater here. Films are always a big deal and a big hit. So how have you guys found Asbury as a community? Has it been welcoming to open the theater here? Has it been difficult? Like, how has it gone?
We were fortunate when we started in 2009. The city was open to new ideas. We were in the downtown or the central business district, which had theaters as one of the approved places to be. So we kind of were entreed in very nicely, and the town had been very good to us. I mean, people did come out, and there was now something to do other than eating and drinking in the downtown area, which we had always thought there should be. It's good to be part of the community. You have a vested interest in making things work. And all the other business owners in town are very participatory. Everybody works very hard. They're They partner with each other to make things a success. So it's been a real close-knit community.
One of the things that we tried to do was really make the cinema part of the community, a member of the community, because not only do we show films and first-run indies, but we have meetings here for the community. We do all sorts of things that make this more or less a community hub for people to participate in and engage. And that's been our goal from day one.
I noticed in your lobby, which I love your lobby, it's the cutest. I love the chalkboard wall. I love like the way the concessions are laid out. But it also looks like you're supporting other businesses in town too, right? You have different options for moviegoers that are coming here.
One of our plans was to offer concessions that were made in town, so people can still get Criterion chocolate, which they remember from the boardwalk. They can find nut bars from Bouscardu or vegan cookies from Twisted Tree down the street. We even have partnerships with like Mogo, where you can see dinner and a movie. So it's important to us to try to work with other people in the community to make it more of a joint effort.
That's pretty awesome. I want to talk a little bit about the shows that you do show here, because we're not always, and in some cases you're talking about some of the bigger box office hits, but in a lot of cases you're talking about films that people read about, maybe like in the Times or, you know,
NPR.
Right, on NPR, but don't have necessarily a home to see them. You provide that home for some of those films. What's that been like for you guys? How do you go about choosing what you're going to show here at Showroom?
A lot of times we focus on directors or actors who are in the movie, or just the genre itself. I mean, a lot of times it goes back to the engagement with our audience. I can't tell you the amount of recommendations and referrals and requests that we get from guests who come in. Not only do we have our eyes on the curatorial button, so to speak, but our guests do as well.
We found, you know, little niches of times and places. We have a horror series that we show on Sunday mornings, and it's called Horror Church. Instead of going to church, you can come here and watch a classic horror movie, and we have an audience for that. So it's a little bit of everything, and you have to kind of go with the flow, and it changes, it evolves. So we're very pleased to have it challenge us as well, so it's not the same thing all the time.
Well, you can't really beat that. That's kind of the best way to do a business.
No.
I would imagine some of that has to do with how intimate this theater is. I mean, this is probably like the medium size in this particular space. But you guys also have another showroom, is that correct?
Well, there's 3 theaters in this location that has 67 seats and 15 non-fixed seats upstairs. We call it the loft. And then we just opened up the Showroom Cinema Bradley Beach that has 340 seats in it. So they're different sizes to fit all different movies.
Well, I just want to ask you before we go, if you guys could help me in describing Asbury Park to people who haven't been here before. Any words or phrases come to mind?
I'd say eclectic, trendy, and very inclusive. You get a very rich mix and diverse group of people that come here.
And while people tend to focus on the music aspect, which it's had since its very beginning, I think it's totally broadened out culturally into film and art and photography. It truly has something for everyone, and that diversity is its hallmark.
Very cool. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me a little bit today and leaving me here in your cool theater.
Thank you.
Please come back, see a movie or two.
I will. Keeping with the heart and culture of Asbury Park, Showroom Theaters supports independent films and the artists behind them.
To learn more about Tap Into TV, visit tapintotv.net.
For some of us, Asbury is a day trip, but for most of us, it's a whole getaway, which begs the question, where do you stay? We're in for a treat today, visiting the Carriage House Bed and Breakfast. So you and I were speaking a little bit off camera about running a bed and breakfast, and I was saying to you that I feel like people think they have a good experience at a B&B and then they think, I could do that. Do you, is that how you fell into this business?
It was destiny for me to be here, and I've never regretted it. It's the best thing I've ever done. I meet the most amazing people, and it's the best job that I could ever ask for.
Touring this place, seeing the beautiful rooms, I mean, no detail is left to chance. So you guys are really on top of things. Do you have like help, or how does that work when you have a B&B?
I have my housekeepers, helper that helps me in the kitchen. My whole family helps me. My father is the entertainer. So it's for my family that I have this. Thank God for my family.
How have you found the experience of running a B&B?
I always tell everybody I cooked for my kids and I took care of my kids, and this is no different.
Yeah.
So, but I get a lot of gratitude. You know?
That doesn't happen.
Lots of things, yes. Yeah. So this is very rewarding.
Yeah. You guys must have, do you find that your business is seasonal based on like summer being this close to the beach and everything? Or
it is very seasonal, but we do get a lot of winter rentals, and thank God for Asbury, they come to concerts all year long. So we always, we're pretty much always busy.
Ocean Grove and Asbury are neighbors for people who don't really know or understand that relationship. You guys are basically divided by this
lake.
Little lake. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's still the same sort of vibe, would you say? Or do you feel like it's a little bit different in Ocean Grove versus Asbury?
I think it's quieter here, but I think that it's changing along with Asbury. But Asbury has more of a Manhattan vibe, I think, because there's more of a nightlife. We're still a dry town, so we have no bars and no alcohol. Every restaurant is bring your own. So because of that, I think that's what probably makes the vibe very different.
I kind of like that there is this oasis away from Asbury. Like if your main goal was to visit Asbury, but you actually want to sleep, right? The carriage house might be the best place for you to do that.
Right. And those are our clients. They're the people that want to go to the concert and then rest after.
What I really loved touring the inside of the carriage house, first of all, it's huge. It does not seem like this is like a full hotel. Like you've got a lot of beautiful rooms, really gorgeous accommodations. How did you decide on the Victorian flair to everything?
It's definitely not cookie cutter, and that was the whole point. I wanted to make it more original. I almost wanted to make it a Disney World experience. You know, you come in and there's crazy lamps. They're old and Victorian and, you know, with beautiful dresses and beautiful paintings that maybe are crazy, Victorian, but over the top. But that's what I wanted, because you're not going to buy it for your own house. You're not going to have it in your own house. I want them to come here and have a different experience.
I just want to thank you for having us here today. It's beautiful. Thank you. I feel like it's an oasis, a little home away from home. And it's been really neat to get to see the inside.
Thank you so much.
Stunning ocean views and Victorian decor. I love how the Carriage House Bed and Breakfast feels like a home away from home. Every Jersey girl has her favorite shore point, and I am lucky enough to call Asbury Park mine. Beautiful and colorful and artistic and musical, you can't beat the arts, the food, and the people of Asbury Park. Visit us on TAPintoTV or on Instagram at HomeGrownNJ. I'd love to hear about your small town and where you think we should go next. Until next time, I'm Stephanie Willoughby, and this is HomeGrown.
To watch more Tap Into TV, follow us on social media at TAPintoTV.
TAPintoTV visited one of the last remaining pencil factories in America, Musgrave Pencils in Shelbyville, Tennessee. We spoke with Musgrave about how pencils are made, the long history of pencil making in this country, as well as the enduring and surprising popularity of the humble pencil in the digital age.
There's nothing like picking up a pencil, and if you want to jot a quick note down or basically an idea, you can draw something out. You don't have to worry about where it's stored, and they're just the feel and the look of a pencil. I think it's just one of the things that you know, will never be replaced. My grandfather, he had a nickname, Colonel Musgrave, was either a visionary or an entrepreneur, I don't know which, but he saw the need for pencil slats to be sold to other pencil companies, mostly in Europe. And he saw that Middle Tennessee was a source for the pencil slats. And a lot of people don't know it, but we were probably one of the first people that did any kind of recycling that there was, because what he did, he would go out and buy cedar rail fences and bring them back. We did not cut a tree. We bought cedar rail fences, we brought them back here to the plant yard, and we made pencil slats out of them. All of the pencils then were made out of Tennessee red cedar, and that's why they settled in this area. After we were settled, other pencil companies settled later in this area, and then many, many years later, some of the suppliers settled either in this area or surrounding towns. Pencils are special. They are, I mean, people like them one reason because they are wood. It's not plastic, it's wood. Well, of course, we start out with a wood slat, which is just a flat piece of wood. It's about 3.5 inches wide. It's about 7 inches long and 5 millimeters thick. And the first thing we do, we actually cut grooves in it. So you can take your hand as a slat. These are the grooves that we cut into the slat. And then we take the graphite cores and we lay the graphite cores in those grooves. And we put glue in the grooves, and then another slat with glue on it is capped on top of the slat with the graphite cores in it, and it's put in a press and sits overnight, and then the next day it runs through what we call a shaping machine, and the shaping machine actually cuts the pencils out of these two slats with the graphite cores in them. It cuts them in two, and boom, you've got individual pencils. And then, of course, from then, they're painted, printed, tipped, packaged, all sorts of things, you know. At least since 1923, we have been making pencils right here. That's important to us. It's important for our employees to know that we're not going anywhere. People will buy the variety pack and they say, wow, there's something in it for everybody. And they can look at it, they can try them. They might want to go outside this rim and get something else, either more colors or softer lead or harder lead that's offered in the pack. We can do that, but this is a really good starting place for any pencil lover to find their little niche of what they like. I think by being, quote, a jack of all trades, we've been able to stay in this town and have people come to us for their pencil wants.
To watch more Tap Into TV videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel at TAPintoTV. Tap Into is a network of more than 80 franchise local news sites with more than 10 million readers. Bring local news to your community while owning your own business. Tap Into provides you with the training, support, and technology to help you build a profitable business. To find out more, visit www.starttap.net.
I can't think of anything that's more important than what we do.
The only component you need to join and be a volunteer in the Cedar Grove Ambulance and Rescue Squad is the passion to help others.
I would say it's an amazing experience to get your foot in the door if this is something you enjoy doing, if you enjoy helping others, if you possibly want to go into medicine or something in the medical field. It's a great way to get involved and see all these things firsthand.
Community service is now a requirement of being a Cedar Grove High School graduate. We believe that service on the rescue squad certainly fulfills that requirement, and we're hoping that people look to us in that regard.
I will tell you, here at the Rescue Squad, you're part of a team. At the end of the day, we would do anything for each other here on the squad, and that's the most important thing.
I think they can gain a lot of confidence in their abilities because now they're doing stuff that they see on TV that these adults are doing, and they're doing it. And hopefully, you know, they learn from it, and it makes them more confident in how to do things.
I felt so comfortable once I was around my peers, once I was around my crew chief who was guiding me, and he was making sure that I wasn't alone and that I knew I had all the help and support from everyone there.
I learned something new every call, and that's the amazing thing. You keep growing from this.
This is a place you can meet people and learn things that'll serve you for the rest of your life, but also you'll be involved in doing very important work.
It makes a difference, and if you want to help people, this is a great way to do it.
We need volunteers for the rescue squad to keep going. The young people are the future, and if we could get them interested early and they stay, then we're just going to get stronger and stronger, and we're going to be able to keep providing this service for our residents.
If you want to help your community, and if you want to really make a difference, as corny as it sounds, you should join the Cedar Grove and Ambulance and Rescue Squad. It's an experience that you will never regret.
To watch more Tap Into TV videos, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TAPintoTV.
The ADI Mind and Body Expo was here today, so we had a bunch of vendors, we had a gym, we had a table about mental health, so basically it was just a chance for everybody to come out, kind of learn a bit more about themselves, more about their bodies and health. We had a cardio class, kickboxing class today, so it was just a good way for everybody to get out and just to get a little more active today.
We'll have different events that are going on in the town. They'll advertise here. We do events ourselves. We're coming up. We have a borough-wide trash to treasure sale. So the entire town of Totowa, different people around town are going to be doing garage sales from their homes. So we're just kind of the center of town. So this is a great way to figure out, you know, what's going on in Totowa. We try to be as friendly and, you know, helpful as possible. Whether it's, you know, if somebody comes in and they have a book report that they need to do, you know, we try to, you know, give them some suggestions, figure out books that might work for them. We have online resources that they can use, so we try to show them things like that. We have DVDs, so it's the human aspect of it. It's the people that are here that help them find these things. We try to be as open, as friendly, as inviting as possible.
Well, actually, starting college, I was looking for a job, and my one friend actually worked here, and I visited him at work one day because, you know, it was kind of slow at the library, so I'd say, come on and visit, see what's checking out. So I visited. Everyone was really nice here to me. Everyone was really cool. You know, he said they were hiring, and I put my application in. A couple weeks later, they called me back, and it's all history from there.
We've known each other since the third grade, and so he was working here at the time, and so he mentioned that they had an opening, and I went to school right next door, so I used to come here all the time. So, you know, I know the area, I know the people. I knew a lot of the ladies that worked here, so I applied for the job, and I got it.
We do a lot of community events. People just think we're a library with books, but really we have these rooms downstairs, like you see with the expo tonight. We really want to get more community events here. We have exercise programs, we do book clubs here, and basically what we want to do for the future is just to get more people here and basically more community events around the town. Because once people start coming to the library, they're going to see, wow, we have space, we have a lot of potential, and then hopefully they'll work with us to provide more things for the people of the community.
To learn more about Tap Into TV, visit TAPintoTV.net. To see all of our latest videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel at TAPintoTV.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in next week right here at 11 a.m. on News 12 Plus. Stay safe. Have a good week. I'm hot, I'm warm. You. Oh, did I say that? Bye-bye. Stay safe. Take care. Throwing the pencil at the camera. We should put that in as a blooper and see what happens.